Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for joining us back here after the Chinese New Year vacation. Hope you had a good one. I am Louisa here to start your Monday morning with the most up-to-date news around the world. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新最有趣的新闻。First, in the U.S., more than 300 Occupy protesters have been taken in by the police following the latest tension in downtown Oakland of California over the weekend. Police fired tear gas at the massive group of demonstrators who aimed at taking control of a convention center and the city hall. According to the authorities, clashes erupted when close to 2,000 protesters marched the streets of Oakland on Saturday, followed by their attempt to turn the vacant Henry J. Kaiser Convention Center into their own protest headquarters. Oakland police said protesters destroyed the construction equipment and tore down the fences of the convention center. In response to their violent act, which involved tossing metal pipes, bottles, and burning flares, the authorities fired back with tear gas, smoke grenades, and beanbag bullets to disperse the crowd. The activists also broke into the Oakland City Hall and burned an American flag on the steps. 去年开始的占领华尔街运动还在持续，在美国加州奥克兰，超过2000民众参加抗议，还跟警方发生冲突，大约300人被捕。And now to the issue in Barcelona. Their voices are loud and clear. Thousands of public sector workers hit the streets of Barcelona demonstrating against the latest austerity measures introduced by the government, which include slashing their salaries. 西班牙为了要免于被债务拖垮，财政也开始紧缩公部门的薪资，结果引发大批民众不满上街抗议。
Thousands gathered on the streets of Barcelona to protest austerity measures in Spain's northeastern region. Their message was clear: no to spending cuts. Demonstrators included many teachers, police officers, and hospital staff who are furious about salary cuts and tax increases. Many regions are under pressure from the central government to bring down the country's deficit and make sure Spain doesn't get dragged into the debt crisis that has already forced Greece, Ireland, and Portugal to seek financial bailouts.
And now to other news. China has unveiled its first ever chocolate theme park in Shanghai, the World Chocolate Wonderland, to feast the eyes of chocolate lovers and to test the growing market. 大陆举办了号称世界第一个 Chocolate 梦公园的特展，展出各式各样的巧克力。不过，大陆的巧克力市场好像不如看起来那样的商机无限。
As the World Chocolate Wonderland, dubbed the world's first chocolate theme park, opens last December in Shanghai, global chocolate makers are ready to impress some Chinese consumers' taste buds. They are massing their forces at the World Chocolate Wonderland, a 2-month exhibit till February 19th. Statistics show that it's quite a battle to win Chinese locals off sultry snacks. Averagely speaking, a Swiss will eat over 11 kilograms of chocolate a year. A Japanese consumer eats a little more than 3 kilograms per year, and the Chinese is just 500 grams, which is around 5 chocolate bars. According to Euromonitor, the chocolate market in China is worth less than $2 billion, about the same size as California's. However, foreign firms are now turning optimistic about the potential of the market as young Chinese raised on chocolate snacks become chocolate lovers. Belgium's Neuhaus, one of Europe's top luxury chocolate house, is one of them. Neuhaus opened its first store in China, and its development manager, Federer Lincolns, is hoping for a sweet future.
So the base is very small, but again, it's growing fast, but that will take still a long time. But considering of course, the size of the market and the volume, the number of consumers that are here, it's still worthwhile coming here.
Still, there are some obstacles that need to be overcome. For instance, the lack of cold storage in China.
Chocolate melts, and so it needs to go into air-conditioned supply chain and air-conditioned stores. So the market can only be as big as China's number of air-conditioned stores. And that's growing rapidly, but it's still a very limited part of the distribution system here in China.
For now, foreign chocolate makers are still leading the game, as Mars is #1 with over 40% of the market share. However, while other foreign firms are preparing to conquer China, they could still find hidden threats of growing local competition, such as Lake Conte, owned by COFCO, China's state-owned food giant.
And now to the world of entertainment. Actress Michelle Yeoh brings the inspirational story of Aung San Suu Kyi to the big screen in The Lady. And here on our program today, let's hear what the star has to say about portraying the brave woman who risked it all for democracy. 马来西亚女星杨紫琼在电影的《Lady》演出 Aung San Suu Kyi。在专访里，她跟大家分享她拍这部电影的心得，以及她跟所饰演的民族斗士见面的经过。
The Lady tells the story of the painful separation from Suu Kyi's 2 sons and husband, Dr. Michael Arias, who were allowed only rare visits to Burma during her house arrest. However, out of fears that the theme would cause opposition and intervention from the Burmese government, the movie was filmed in Thailand, was kept as a secret, and even filmed under a different name to avoid possible difficulties. And even when Aung San Suu Kyi was released from house arrest on November 13, 2010, the Burmese government rejected Michelle Yeoh's visit to Burma. When Michelle finally got permitted entering Burma and met with Suu Kyi, she described the Nobel Peace Prize winner as a living legend.
The minute I met her, all she did was she just threw open her arms and gave me the biggest hug. And like she was welcoming a family member. And when you sit next to her, I forgot I was making a film. I forgot, everything. I just looked at her and, she's warm, she's articulate, she's straightforward. She loves to tease. She's quick to laugh, and she's also very curious. She kept asking about me, my family, myself, my country. I guess because if you think about it, she's not been out of Burma since '88. So when someone comes from abroad, they're bringing a part of the world to her.
This has been one of the most bizarre few weeks of my entire life.
Thank you for everything. I couldn't have got through this without you.
Throughout the 15 years of her house arrest, she had the full support from her husband, Michael. Despite seeing each other infrequently, their relationship was always tender and loving.
It's not that he didn't understand, and I think this is where true love really comes in. It's like when you love somebody, you enable them to be who they are, and you help them to realize their potential. And I think he knew that this was his wife's calling. And it's why would you try and stop something that is so important when someone can make a difference? So that was what he was doing. That was what the whole family was doing. They were putting the needs of others, and it's a very, very noble cause.
They're coming! No, please, put your gun down.
So I think we should leave.
No. Please, put your gun down. Put it down. We shall not respond with violence under any circumstances.
Dr. Alice, your visa is cancelled. You are to come with us to the airport.
Do I have time to pack?
1 minute.
Now, you have a very busy schedule. You're going to have to pace yourself. Make sure you eat well and get good rest whenever you can, okay? We'll be back.
Let's go.
However, despite their goodwill, their relationship ended sadly. Diagnosed with cancer in 1997 and desperate to see his wife, Dr. Arias applied for a visa to visit her 30 times, and each application was rejected, and he died in 1999, having not seen Suu Kyi since 1995. Suu Kyi currently resides in Burma, and she continues to carry on her campaign to fight for the country's freedom every day. The Lady will be in Taiwan cinemas in March at the earliest.
And also in movie news, a man with a flawless scheme. Put his heroic image aside, Sam Worthington is set to deceive you in his latest crime thriller, Man on a Ledge, which will be in theaters this Friday. 刚过完年，来看看本周上映的《惊天幻日》，由 Sam Worthington 主演的警察在大庭广众下站在大楼外边的外墙，究竟发生了什么事呢？而他是在掩盖什么阴谋呢？我们一起来看看。 Directed by Astor Lath, Sam Worthington plays an ex-cop turned convict who claims his innocence to the public by feigning to jump off from a Manhattan hotel rooftop in Man on a Ledge. While Elizabeth Banks' character, as the New York Police Department negotiator, tries to talk him out of his suicidal move, she starts to realize that he may have an ulterior motive. The more time she spends on him, the less seconds they have to stop the biggest diamond heist ever.
Man on the Ledge.
Nick Cassidy, escaped convict.
The guy that stole the diamond off David Englander?
A $40 million diamond.
The whole world knows who you are now, Nick.
David Englander set me up.
You need to come in.
I'm ready to die. And it's important that you understand that. Hey, Nick. Hey, you see me?
It's your show, bro.
Let's make it rain. Okay, Joey, you know what to do. Don't worry. Everyone's looking at me.
How far would you go to take down a man that stole everything from you?
The plan is to prove that I'm innocent. The Monarch Diamond never left his hands. Nick, we got a problem here. Find them.
This is my retrial.
Time is running out here, Nick.
And Man on a Ledge is slated for release this Friday. And that's it for today's edition. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay with CTS as we bring you the latest weather update and